Have you ever sat back and wondered why some people live well into their 90s, still walking, laughing, remembering every grandchild's name, while others seem to fade far too soon, sometimes before they even hit 85? You know the ones I'm talking about. They looked okay. Maybe even healthy. Maybe it was your neighbor, your aunt, or even your own parent. One year they were full of life, and the next, it was like something just changed. Quietly. Subtly. And then suddenly, they were gone. You might have told yourself, well, it must have been their time. Maybe it's just genetics. Maybe it's fate. But what if I told you, that's not the full story? What if the real reason most people don't make it past 85 has nothing to do with DNA, and everything to do with a handful of small, silent habits that sneak in after 60, and steal your time when no one's watching? Not big dramatic things. Not diseases with flashing warning signs. But little choices. Quiet patterns. The kind of things we shrug off, or tell ourselves are normal parts of aging. And before we know it, those tiny habits pile up, quietly chipping away at your strength, your health, your will to live. Now, this isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Because once you know what these habits are, you can change the story. You can take your power back. You can do what most people never get the chance to do, age with purpose, with dignity, and on your own terms. So, here's the truth. This video could be the moment that changes everything. Not just for you, but for someone you love. Because the 5 habits I'm about to share are the very reasons many people slowly start losing their energy, their memory, their mobility, and ultimately, their life, years before they should. But the best part? They're all avoidable. Yes, you heard that right. You can take small, simple steps to avoid each of these traps. No medical degree required. No complex routines. Just awareness, honesty, and a little bit of courage. And I'll walk with you through every single one. So stay with me, because in just a few minutes, you'll discover the 5 most common but overlooked habits that cut life short after 60. And more importantly, you'll learn how to shift them before it's too late. And make sure you stick around until the very end, because I'll share one simple mindset shift, one that has helped thousands of seniors stay sharp, active, and independent. Well into their 90. Now, before we dive in, I want to ask you something. If you believe that growing older doesn't mean fading away, if you believe that aging should be celebrated, not feared, then do me a favor. Comment below, I'm here for the long haul. Let me know you're with me. That you're not settling. That you're ready to live smarter, longer, and stronger. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our growing family here on Elderly Wisdom Guide. Because around here, we don't just talk about aging, we honor it. We protect it. We give it the respect it deserves. Ready? Let's begin. Habit number 1, the silent retreat, social isolation. Let's start with one of the most misunderstood and most dangerous habits that quietly steals life away after 60, social isolation. Picture this, your neighbor, Mr. Harold. You remember how he used to show up at every block party, didn't he? Always the first to arrive, always cracking a joke, always with that signature fedora. He was the heartbeat of the neighborhood. But then, something changed. First, he skipped one gathering. Then 2. Next thing you know, it's been months since anyone's seen him outside. His mailbox overflows. The lights in his house stay off more than they used to. And slowly, he fades from the memory of the community he once lit up. Now, here's what's scary, Harold isn't an isolated case. This is happening all around us. Quietly. And too often, we don't realize it's a problem until it's too late. You might think, well, maybe they just want some peace. But here's the truth, loneliness is not just an emotional ache, it's a physical threat. Studies show that chronic social isolation increases the risk of dementia by nearly 40%. Let that sink in. And it doesn't stop there. Isolation can raise your risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, and even early death. As much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15. And yet, so many people write it off. We say things like, they're just getting older, or, they've slowed down, that's normal. But it's not just slowing down. It's a retreat. A withdrawal. And left unchecked, it becomes a slow erosion of everything that keeps us alive inside. Because we're human. We're wired for connection. We don't outgrow the need for laughter, conversation, or someone to say, "Hey, I missed you. Now I know." Sometimes, it feels easier to just be alone. Especially when friends pass away, or family moves far. You might even feel like reaching out is a burden. But listen carefully to me, your voice still matters. Your presence still matters. You don't stop being needed just because you're older. So, what can you do? It doesn't take a dramatic change. It's the little moments that count. Call someone. Not just when something's wrong, but just to say hello. Join a walking group or a hobby club. Even if you're not feeling it at first, just show up. And if getting out isn't easy, don't underestimate the power of a video call, or a simple, thinking of you, text. A 5-minute conversation can feed the soul more than you know. Because here's the bottom line, social health is physical health. Every conversation, every hug, every laugh, that's medicine. Real, powerful, life-extending medicine. And when we stop feeding that need for connection, something else starts to slip away too. Something we don't always notice right away, but it's just as dangerous. Habit number 2, the sitting trap, sedentary lifestyle. Let's talk about the next life-shortening habit that creeps in without warning, the sitting trap. Barbara. 68 years old. A retired nurse, full of warmth and wisdom. When she stopped working, she told everyone, "I've spent decades on my feet, I've earned the right to relax." And she meant it. She bought a soft recliner, stocked up on her favorite shows, and settled in for the easy life. What she didn't realize was that this relaxation was slowly becoming a silent threat. At first, it was little things, feeling winded after climbing stairs, knees getting stiff after a short nap, muscles cramping just from standing too long. Then one day, she tried to get up from her recliner, and her legs just wouldn't respond. No injury. No fall. Just weakness. Her muscles, quietly shrinking over time, had started to fail her. Here's the hard truth, after the age of 60, your muscle mass begins to decline fast, unless you do something to stop it. And I mean really stop it. We're talking about a condition called sarcopenia, a natural part of aging where the body starts breaking down muscle faster than it builds it. But when you're inactive, that process speeds up like a runaway train. And when muscle weakens, so does your balance. Your coordination. Your strength. Suddenly, everyday things like walking, bending, or even getting out of a chair become risky. That's when falls start. That's when bones break. That's when independence slips away. Now, here's where so many seniors get it wrong. They say, "But I clean the house. I sweep the floor. I move around all day." And that's good, but it's not enough. Household chores are movement, yes. But they're not intentional, structured movement. They don't challenge your muscles. They don't get your heart rate up. They don't preserve your strength like walking, stretching, or light strength exercises do. If you want to keep walking confidently into your 70, 80, even your 90, you have to train for it. Just like a musician keeps playing to stay sharp, your body needs regular movement to stay alive and strong. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to be hard. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. You don't even have to leave your house if mobility's a concern. Start small. Just 20 to 30 minutes a day. March in place while watching your favorite show. Stretch your arms while waiting for your tea to steep. Do a gentle walk down your hallway or around your yard. Even dancing to your favorite oldies in the kitchen counts. Because motion is medicine. And every step, every stretch, every small movement, it's a message to your body that says, I'm not done yet. So remember, aging isn't about slowing down to a stop. It's about moving with purpose, your purpose. But, and this is important, even if you keep your body moving, there's another hidden danger that sneaks in through the kitchen. Habit number 3, the sugar drift, poor diet choices. Now let's talk about something a little more personal, something we all hold close to the heart, and the taste buds. Food. You see, Larry, at 72, was proud of his sweet tooth. He used to smile and say, at my age, I've earned every slice of pie. And who could argue with that? He raised a family, worked hard his whole life, and now all he wanted was to enjoy the simple pleasures, his favorite cookies, creamy lattes, maybe an ice cream cone in the afternoon. But what Larry didn't know, was that those innocent little desserts were quietly building a fire inside his body. A slow, silent inflammation. His joints ached more. His mind started to feel foggier. And eventually, his doctor sat him down with news he didn't expect, type 2 diabetes. Now here's the thing. Larry isn't alone. This is happening all across the world. People over 60 turning to comfort foods, believing they've earned the right to eat what they want, when they want. And I get it. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud, your body changes as you age. It doesn't digest or process sugar and processed food the same way it used to. What you could once get away with at 30 now sticks with you. Not just on the scale, but in your blood vessels, your joints, your brain. Refined sugar increases inflammation. Inflammation increases the risk of heart disease, arthritis, even memory loss. And those ultra-processed foods, packaged snacks, fast food, frozen dinners, they rob you of nutrients and silently stress your organs. Now, here's where many people get stuck. They think healthy eating is just about losing weight. But at this stage in life, that's the wrong focus. After 60, nutrition isn't about getting skinny. It's about fueling your brain. Protecting your bones. Strengthening your immune system. You're not eating for appearance anymore, you're eating for performance. For longevity. For quality of life. And no, you don't have to throw out everything you love. You don't need to survive on kale and quinoa. But you do need to start making better choices. And it starts with small, doable swaps. Trade soda for infused water. Just add lemon, cucumber, or berries. Choose whole grain bread over white. Reach for nuts instead of chips. Add colorful vegetables to your plate, orange carrots, green spinach, red bell peppers. Each color offers something different. Include omega-3s from sources like flaxseed, walnuts, or a little salmon. You're not depriving yourself, you're rebuilding yourself. Because every bite is either feeding disease, or fighting it. You don't need a perfect diet, just a conscious one. And if you're struggling with cravings, that's okay. Just notice it. Awareness is the first step. Because once you start listening to what your body really needs, not just what your habits crave, you'll be amazed at how good you can feel. So yes, food is fuel. But there's another danger that's even harder to notice, because it hides not in what you're putting into your mouth, but in what you're letting slip away from your mind. Habit number 4, the memory neglect, ignoring cognitive health. Let me tell you about Judy. She was 69, full of humor and heart. The kind of woman who could tell a story that had the whole room in stitches. But she started forgetting little things, where she put her glasses, the names of neighbors, even her appointments. At first, she laughed it off. "Oh, I'm just having a senior moment," she'd say. It became a running joke. Until one afternoon, she stepped outside for a short walk around the block. But when she tried to return home, she couldn't remember which house was hers. She stood frozen in her own street, completely lost. Now, I want you to hear me clearly, Judy didn't have full-blown dementia. What she had was cognitive neglect, something that happens to so many people after 60. Here's what most folks don't realize. Cognitive decline doesn't hit all at once. It sneaks in slowly, through quiet forgetfulness, lapses in focus, difficulty finding words. And when the brain isn't being challenged. When we stop learning, stop engaging, stop thinking in new ways, it begins to shrink. Yes, shrink. Physically. The parts of the brain responsible for memory, problem-solving, and emotional balance actually lose volume when not used. It's not about getting old. It's about getting idle. And here's a big misconception: well, I do a crossword every morning, that's enough, right? Not quite. While puzzles are good, they're not everything. The brain doesn't just want repetition. It craves variety, novelty, challenge. It thrives when you stretch it, just like your muscles do. So, what can you do? Start by learning something new. Anything. Try your hand at painting. Learn a new language, even if it's just a few words a day. Pick up the ukulele. Attend a community class or a local workshop. Play chess. Solve logic puzzles. Teach yourself how to use a new app on your phone. Even better, combine mental stimulation with social connection. Join a book club, take a class with a friend, volunteer somewhere that keeps you engaged. And here's something simple but powerful: change up your routine. Take a different walking route. Use your non-dominant hand to brush your teeth. Cook a recipe you've never tried before. Because the brain is like a muscle, and the only way it stays strong is by using it in ways it's not used to. And don't underestimate the role of curiosity. Curious minds stay sharp. They ask questions, explore ideas, and see the world with childlike wonder. That spark, that hunger to know more, is one of the most powerful tools against decline. Now, let's be honest, no one wants to think about memory loss. It's scary. It hits close to home. But ignoring it doesn't make it go away. Nurturing your mind doesn't just protect memory, it helps you stay emotionally grounded, socially active, and fully present in the moments that matter most. But even if your mind is sharp and your body is strong, there's still one more habit we need to talk about. It's quiet. Invisible, even. But it often determines not just how long you live, but how well you live. Habit number 5, the stress spiral, unmanaged chronic stress. Now this last habit, it's the quietest of them all. And maybe the most underestimated. Let me tell you about Tom. Tom was 74. The kind of man who never complained. He smiled when you asked how he was, made a joke when things got tough, and always answered, "I'm fine." But behind that smile, was a storm no one could see. Bills piling up. Prescription costs eating away at his savings. His wife's health declining. His own heart beating a little too fast at night. He didn't sleep much. Didn't eat well. And even though he didn't show it, the weight was always there. Then one day, he had a stroke. Not a major one, just enough to shake him. And when the doctors ran tests, they said something he never expected: this isn't just about your heart. It's the stress. It's been building for years. You see, Tom didn't smoke. He walked regularly. Ate decently. But what he didn't manage, was his chronic stress. And that's the danger, isn't it? Because unlike a limp or a cough, stress doesn't always show itself right away. It hides in the background. Wears a polite smile. And slowly, quietly, it breaks the body down from the inside. Science tells us that chronic stress raises your cortisol levels. That's your body's stress hormone. When cortisol stays high, it weakens your immune system. It increases inflammation, slows down healing, and literally ages your cells faster. It's like rust on metal, it doesn't scream. It just spreads. But here's the part no one tells you. You don't have to live with that storm inside. You don't have to carry it alone. And most importantly, you are not too old to change how you cope. I hear it all the time, I've lived this way my whole life. That's just who I am. But that's not true. You can change. Even now. Especially now. Because peace isn't something that happens to you, it's something you practice. So, what can you do? Start with the breath. Just 10 minutes in the morning. Before the phone rings. Before the news comes on. Sit quietly. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out slowly through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Let your thoughts come and go like clouds passing in the sky. That simple act of breathing rewires your brain. It lowers cortisol. Calms your heart. Clears your mind. And over time, it builds something incredible, resilience. Try journaling. Or listening to soft music. Take a walk and actually feel the ground beneath your feet. Say no to things that drain you. Let go of guilt that no longer serves you. If it helps, talk to someone. A friend. A counselor. A faith leader. Because bottling it up may seem strong, but releasing it? That's where real strength lives. You've carried enough. You don't have to carry it all. And here's something beautiful to remember, peace is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of perspective. It's the quiet decision to choose calm over chaos, one moment at a time. So now that we've walked through these 5 silent habits, the ones that quietly, slowly, and often invisibly shorten life after 60. Let's talk about what comes next. Because this isn't just about what's been holding you back. It's about what you do with this awareness, moving forward. Maybe your heart feels a little heavy right now. Maybe you're thinking, that's me. I see myself in these habits. And that's okay. It's not shameful. It's not failure. It's awareness. And that's the beginning of every powerful change. You see, aging isn't about getting everything right. It's not about being flawless or suddenly overhauling your entire life. It's about noticing. Noticing what's helping you, and what's holding you back. And once you notice, you can begin to shift. Slowly. Gently. Intentionally. Let me be clear, these 5 habits. They don't define you. They're not your sentence. They're simply signals, little reminders saying, it's time. Because the truth is, you still have far more power than you've been told. Your story isn't finished. Your best years may still be waiting. And every day you wake up is a chance to say, today, I take one step closer to the life I deserve. So, don't worry about changing everything overnight. Instead, choose one small thing today. Call a neighbor. Walk to the end of the street and back. Swap one snack for a fruit. Do a puzzle. Breathe deeply for 60 seconds. Say no to something that leaves you drained. Say yes to something that lifts your spirit. Because every single one of those actions adds life to your years, and years to your life. And listen closely, because you may need to hear this, you are not too old. It is not too late. And you are not alone. If you've watched this far, that tells me something already, you care. You're open. You're still growing. And growth at any age is power. So, take a deep breath. Let go of regret. Hold on to hope. Because the path to a longer, healthier, more meaningful life isn't some giant leap. It's just a series of small, consistent steps, and you just took one. Let's take a moment to go back over what we uncovered together. Habit number 1, social isolation. Because connection is the lifeline of mental and physical health. Habit number 2, sedentary living. Because motion is more than movement, it's medicine. Habit number 3, poor diet. Because food fuels every cell in your body. Habit number 4, ignoring brain health. Because your mind craves stimulation just like your muscles do. Habit number 5, unmanaged stress. Because peace is not a luxury, it's a necessity. They might seem small, harmless, but over months and years, they are the quiet separators between those who thrive deep into their 80 and 90, and those who fade far too soon. But here's the best part. They're not irreversible. You can shift them, one at a time, on your terms. Now, let's hear from you. Which of these habits surprised you the most? Was there a moment in this video that struck a chord? Or maybe someone you love has faced these same silent dangers. Share your story in the comments, because you never know who might need to read it. This channel, Elderly Wisdom Guide, was created for you. For people who still want to learn. Still want to live deeply. Still believe that every chapter, even this one, can be beautiful. So, if this gave you a new perspective, tap the like button. Subscribe. We're building something rare here, a community of older adults who aren't giving in, but rising up. Because you're stronger than the habits that hold you. You're smarter than the fears that whisper, you can't. And you're more capable than you've ever been told. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Until next time, stay well. Stay wise. And never stop believing in what's still possible.